All right, moving on. Chinese President Xi Jinping said today that China-Vietnam relations are rooted in the people, sustained by the people, and empowered by the people. Xi, also General Secretary of the Communist Party of China, Central Committee, made the statement at a meeting with representatives attending the Chinese and Vietnamese People's Friendship Meeting in Hanoi, capital of Vietnam. His statement focused concretely on the friendship between the two nations. Moving on, Harvard University is pushing back against demands from the Trump administration, rejecting what it calls government overreach that would compromise its independence. The Trump administration has since frozen $2.3 billion worth of federal funding to the school. The move comes after the Education Department said it was reviewing a total of $9 billion in federal contracts and grants awarded to Harvard. According to analysts, the review is a part of a broader crackdown by the administration, which says universities have failed to address rising anti-Semitism on campuses, especially after recent pro-Palestinian protests. A Department of Education task force on anti-Semitism accused Harvard of having a troubling entitlement mindset, suggesting that the university expects federal funding without properly upholding civil rights laws. In yesterday's letter, Harvard President Alan Garber said that the administration's demands would allow the government to control the Harvard community and threaten the university's role as a private institution. He said no government should decide what private universities teach, who they hire, or what they research. The White House defended the funding freeze, with spokesperson Harrison Fields saying President Trump is working to make higher education great again by ensuring taxpayer money does not support what it calls racially motivated discrimination or violence. In response to the potential financial shortfall, Harvard is reportedly planning to borrow $750 million from Wall Street. Mr. Raymond Vickery, former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Commerce, is with us on the broadcast. Mr. Vickery, Harvard University, a benchmark of human excellence, a university which has produced the finest minds that have gone on to serve as presidents and CEOs of some of the biggest global and American organizations, is being stifled at this point in time. Is what they say. Do you think it is undemocratic of the government to tell Harvard University of what they can talk about, what they can protest on?
Well, thanks again for having me. I think that I must disclose my interest at the start, and that I'm a graduate of Harvard Law School, and very proud of President Garber and the university for standing up. This has been not the course taken by some other universities. In Columbia University, they basically caved in order to be able to protect their funding. University of Pennsylvania also did. And I think you have to step back and see this as part of the broader effort of the Trump administration, really to dictate policy not only to universities, but to museums, to what is said by immigrants who have green cards, who are lawfully here, but could be deported if they do not toe the Trump line. So I think it's very disconcerting, and you may have seen the comments by Vice President Vance that higher education is the enemy, and implying, of course, that it has to be brought to heel. The anti-Semitism issue, of course, is a real one, and that is not only in the United States, but around the world. Anti-Semitism has been a real downside to civil discourse. But in this case, anti-Semitism, that is the fight against anti-Semitism, is being used for the broader purpose, and that is to put in an authoritarian regime where the Trump administration and what President Trump says goes, and if you do not toe that line, then you are subject to having consequences. President Trump said during the campaign that he was going to be the retribution, that he was going to come after people who didn't agree with him. In this country, the First Amendment, the right to speak out freely, has been a bedrock, as it has been in other great democracies like India.
All right, sir.
And it's very, very disconcerting, but I'm pleased that at least Harvard is standing up against this onslaught.
Mr. Vickery, always a pleasure having you, sir. Thank you so much for those insights. So breaking news coming in, the Vice Ministry of Controlled Substances said in a statement that Bolivian police seized 2.5 metric tons of cocaine worth some $7 million in drug busts that took place between April 5th and 9th. Last year, the Bolivian police had carried out the second largest drug bust in the country's history, seizing more than 7.2 tons of cocaine destined for Belgium with a street value of nearly $500 million US. All right, well, that's